Hello everyone, this is Fireally, and today I'm casting the Scion Races mod and the tournament that they had recently. I'm starting out with the game, the best 2 out of 3 game with Quror and Prometheus, because Prometheus is playing Zerg, and this is the only game in this tournament that features a vanilla race, and I kind of wanted to show you guys the vanilla stuff first, so that way if you're not familiar with the Scion mod, things are a little bit less weird, a little bit less hard to figure out. And all of them are custom matches as well, so we get fun colors instead of just red and blue, which I'm always appreciative of. So over here we have Quror, who is playing the Xayid race. And currently he's set up his feeding pool, which is where your supply comes from. It also has a healing ability, and you can place your photon cannon-like structures near only this and your base. So you can cannon rush, but it's kind of difficult. And when you have 3 of these things, they make it so you can produce from your Xayid den faster than normal. And the Xayid dens are interesting. These guys play really closely to Brood War Zerg, in my opinion, because it's all about maxing out your larva producing structures, and so you can mass produce an army. So between these things and having a bunch of these in this radius here, you can make a really fast army. And I just love just being able to hold down one button and make 9 dudes at once. It's a good feeling. So over here with Prometheus, we've got himself making his spawning pool and getting his second base, standard Zerg stuff. But so currently Quror, I do not know how to pronounce his name. Oh, he's got an idle worker over there. But he's been around for a bit, and he's been learning more and more. So he's kind of the up and coming underdog, I guess, and he'll stream things from time to time. And Prometheus has been around for a while, and he doesn't have like the best track record, but you know, he still valiantly shows up every time, which we can all appreciate. So I kind of like this game. They're both the underdogs, so it's kind of fun to watch the underdogs. But in this matchup, Quror definitely has more experience than Prometheus does. So we see a Zergling run by here. Definitely not enough for a good Zergling rush. He's also working on metabolic boost at the same time. There's no way it's going to be done by the time it counts for anything here, though. 3 Xayidlings. They're going to wreck these Zerglings. They're like a mixture of a Marine and a Zergling. So they cost 75 minerals and they can shoot, but they're also like super squishy. But they can shoot up too, which is nice. And you saw its dash ability there. So the dash ability has a cooldown. You shoot a little bit faster for just a little bit. Really nice way to get them in and out of places that they shouldn't have gotten into. And naturally, Zerglings are way faster than a Xayidling. So we're seeing Prometheus start to saturate bases here. He should grab this gas hit. This gas is lonely. That gas is so lonely. But you know, shiny blue rocks are better than steaming gas. You know. Oh man, here come the Zerglings again with a metabolic boost. He's making his push right into these roamers and these Xayidlings. He's doing some good stutter stepping here. Got him caught on the minerals. They have been nommed. They are gone. And currently he's got 2 of his Xayid dens, and he also went for a 201 build. And I really like this. Xayid is an interesting race because they can do this. This is their air structure, and currently he's building himself what we call raptors. He's making raptors. I struggled there. And raptors are like mutalisks, but they spawn in pairs of 2. However, they are way brittle. And here he is over here looking at the main base. So these little guys are called roamers, and you see that thing there? It gives him vision where it lands. And So it makes him able to tell if he's making a good engagement or not well before he does it, which is pretty good. And he does lose everything here. There we go. But he did get some information he was looking for, so it could be worth it in the end. And we might see some good old harass here from these guys right here. Let's go follow them. The Raptors are going over the slow burrow zone. Oh, he's going in from the side here. But yeah, so I think as far as I know, Xayid is the only race that can literally do a 2-0-1 build instead of going 1-1-1 or 2-1-1. You know? Yo, those queens are pushing them back. They're squishy. Oh, there goes one. Yeah, their squishiness is not doing them very good here. They only have 100 hit points. And I don't think they have any armor right now either. Yeah. Quror only has a 1-0 right now for his upgrades, so it's not amazing. And he's trying to keep himself from being supply blocked right here. Prometheus doesn't have really much supply. He's getting his third base, and so is Quror, so they're about on the same wavelength there. We're going to see some more injects. There we go. The Queen's making its long march to inject in this one right here. Blah, there we go. Oh man, he just made 15 drones all at once. Trying to get all that saturation going. Here's a Dropper Lord. It's going to take the island base. I love the island base on this map. It makes for very interesting plays because there is only one slow zone between you and the island after you've got the island. So it could be a very interesting place to play from, although, there we go. So now he's going for base, or at least so it appears, but this base has nothing going on for it right now. This one's oversaturated, but one guy just needs to be pulled into this, and boom, it's all over. Just like that. Boom. It's not fully saturated here, but I think that's okay. At least at this level of play. If you saw a pro person doing that, you'd be like, what? Is that real? Alright, so we see some scavengers being put into the third base. It's not really all that saturated, but hopefully he's got all three of them working on that. He's building a bile pit to save himself from any Mutalisk attacks over there. And speaking of Mutalisks, looks like we got a Spire coming up over here, so that bile pit was placed well before it was even needed. We got Hydras coming as well. Burrow. Why are you getting Burrow? Who gets Burrow? I want to know, actually. Because as far as I know, no one really gets Burrow. Like, maybe in the days of Brood Wars we got that, but not so much anymore. Alright, he's got his vision, and he's got himself some Assailants. Assailants are air-to-ground units from the Xayid, and they have more health than a Raptor, but they definitely got some bigger, bulkier options later on down the line. And in order to get some of those, we're seeing that this building right here, the Sunken Warren, which is the researcher. And these look like infestation pits, but they do your air upgrades, and that's why he's got two of them, so he can get 1-1 for his air units right away. And it looks like we see an overseer. He's getting spat at, booed off the stage, as it were. He told his Zergling friends, and they are all mad. They're riled up. They're gonna go boo the other guys off the stage who are throwing tomatoes at them. And now they make their move. They're gonna get these naysayers out of here. And they have left. They've left the stage. The Zerglings celebrate by destroying the rocks. And they've done it. They have fought for their overseer friend. You know, guys, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of tired, so the commentary on this might be a little whack. But that's okay. Fourth base is doing absolutely nothing. And he's not making drones. He's making overlords. Because that's what you do with your fourth base. Alright, so we got an army supply of 76 to 60, and he just got 1-1 for his air right there. So it's looking pretty good for Quror here. We're seeing some Mutalisks coming around here. Let's see what these 7 Mutalisks can accomplish here with a 10 army supply lead from Quror. Here they come. Bile Pit, ready to fight them off, and they just run away. Good job, Mutalisks. You've done good. You got in, you got out with your lives. That's all that matters, right? Alright. So here is the 4th base of Quror coming up, and it is being denied by these Mutalisks. So this is a good move right here. He's getting out because there's pretty much as many Raptors as there are Mutalisks. Although on paper, the Mutalisks could fire down those Raptors if they have even numbers. The Mutalisks should come out on top. Bile Pit here, not engaging that, or is he? No, he's just gonna go around it. But then there's another one. But he's sticking around for this one. So we're seeing some worker kills right here. How many worker kills? So he's gotten 6 worker kills, but it's not really enough at this state of the game. Prometheus, you're floating 3,000 minerals. What are you doing? You're still floating like 3,000 minerals, man. 7 mutas is not gonna cut it. What about some hydras? Why don't we get some more of them going? Or some spore crawlers or spine crawlers or some kind of something. You got so much money in the bank. Prometheus or Quror is supply blocked, so he's working on that. Or he's just gonna finish. Oh, he's starting his 5th base. Well, I guess that works too. And here comes the big engagement. All of his boys are coming over ever so slowly, all in one control group, including the Zeothin, which is an air spellcaster. I don't know about you, but I don't advise putting a spellcaster in the same control group as literally everything. And I do believe this guy's a detector. Yes, he is, as you can see there. Which is also interesting. So these guys have 2 moving detectors. One is their carrier, so it's kind of like the old overlords. Here's the big engagement. This is going to decide everything. You see Raptors going down. I'm not sure who's firing at who here, but the Mutalisks are going down. The Xayid put down this cloud here, which reduces the damage that they're taking, similar to Microbial Shroud. And boom! He's gone. The army's gone. He's got an army of 6. There goes all the drones, walking into the meat grinder because they want to take those sweet minerals home. And Prometheus calls the GG. There we go. And now we move on to round 2. Alright, here we go with game 2 on Nightshade LE. So, we have Prometheus spawning in the left-hand corner here, and in the bottom right we have Quror, who was the winner of the last match in this best 2 out of 3 series. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this is the best 2 out of 3 series. So we're both seeing the standard openings from these 2 players, and from this, I can tell you that in this tournament, my brain's dying here. But in the last tournament, it was a Robin something. I forget what it's called. It's the one where everyone faces everyone else. So, in other words, all 7 players fought all 7 other players, and it was pretty cool. A player by the name of Trumpet ended up taking it home, but all of the other games outside of this one are Xayid or Geo. I forgot the name. It starts with a G. Oh my gosh, my brain. Probably shouldn't record these things near nighttime. But anyway, Genetron, that's it. So, all of the other matches are Genetron or Xayid. So, there isn't as much. What? Why did he cancel that? Quror, what? Was that just a misinput? I'm confused, man. Why'd you put him on minerals there? There you go. Alright, so 2 base coming up from each of these guys. But yeah, as I was saying, so I like to do this game first because it's the only one with a vanilla race involved, so it's just easier to get your hands on. All of the other matches, I looked them all in the replays folder, every single one of them is either Xayid versus Xayid, Genetron versus Genetron, or GVX. So I still enjoy those matches, but I always like to see the matchup between the vanilla and these races, because I feel like that they're pretty well matched in my opinion, which is why I find it so interesting. And also it's easier for me to start with these because it just makes more sense for anyone who's coming in. Oh, by the way, fun fact about Xayid, they can build on creep. They don't make creep, but their buildings are not obstructed by creep like Terran or Genetron or Protoss, which is pretty interesting stuff, and I really like it. It makes for some interesting 2v2s. However, I have yet to see any cool plays from those, because the issue is we have kind of a big MMR gap, if you will, in the Scion Custom Races community, because a lot of them are gold or masters players, and so sometimes you're seeing a bunch of masters fighting a bunch of gold dudes, and obviously that's not really gonna go very well. We see 6 lings trade for 1 Xayid ling, so it's not exactly not the best of trades right there, but it isn't completely no-go. We have speed. Speedlings are back in action. They have grown their butterfly wings. They are ready to go sprint across the map. I always wondered, why do they grow wings? Like, why do they grow wings? They run. I don't know. These are the questions that we need to ask Blizzard. Why do lings have wings? I love how it rhymes, though. It's a beautiful rhyme. Seeing a little bit of creep spread over there. And on the side of Quror, we are seeing him transition into the biomass hatchery, which is the equivalent of the factory for this race. So he's going for a, I don't know, a 2-1, a 3-1 bail, a 3-1 build, I guess. 3-1-0, 3-1-0. Instead of going air, he's going with the tankier ground units, essentially, is what's going on here. Seeing some more creep spread from Prometheus as they come marching on in. He doesn't see him yet, though, but he definitely sees that. So he knows that they're here, and he goes in for the engagement. And all of these guys will not stand a chance against so many Zerglings. Bada bing, bada boom. They are gone. So that was a good trade for Prometheus. He's going for an immediate counterattack with these Zerglings. However, they are pretty hurt, and you can build really quickly from all these biodings. So those right here, these are bombs. If they step on it like that, they die. But they have no radius, so it only explodes if you directly step on it. And that is thanks to this unit called the Prowler. It's a ground spellcaster, and it's able to lay these mines down. And again, there's no radius on them. You have to step directly on it, otherwise it doesn't work. As you can see right there. And it also has that ability, which totally crumpled this Zergling army right here. As basically a AoE from the center of it, fungal growth, if you will. It just disables the abilities of units within a radius around it. So because of that, when you engage against Xayid, you want to make sure that you don't get cornered by these guys, or you feedback them or something. We see 3 base coming up for both players. Prometheus looks like his just finished because there's only 1 larva. He's going for a Spire, so we're probably going to see some Mutalisks once again. 10 lings. He's making all of the Zerglings right now. He's gotten some spine crawlers to keep himself up to date with everything. We're also seeing the Canalisk Den is upgrading the units of Quror here. And so I don't remember what these do specifically, but I can tell you that it is upgrading a specific unit, and it's probably going to be the Prowler. He's actually, no, he's not getting that one. We'll just click on all the units until we see the one he's getting. I do not know, but he is getting more powerful nonetheless. I haven't memorized these icons here and like the description of what they do. I haven't played very much Xayid. I played Genetron mostly. So let's see. We see a scouting Zergling running by, completely missing the army here that's laying mines on the front door. Now he's going for a lot of roamers, as it were. Okay, so he did upgrade the roamers, so I was right. So that's interesting choice right there. We also see a reviler. They come from the biomass hatchery that we saw from before, and with their tech upgrade, they have a really cool one, because their tech upgrade makes it so the more that they fire, the more damage that they do. So they have to build it up over time. You see that spread again. The Zerglings are completely helpless, running around like with their heads cut off. He does get the surround and is able to clean it up with sheer massive numbers. But those Zerglings took a lot of damage. So if Quror had saved up the second one, he could have spread it twice, and that might have gone very bad for Prometheus here. You see some Zerglings falling down to these mines, but he's sending them in one by one to eliminate them without too many costs, and you go in for a counterattack, and the backup Zerglings are coming as well. Now, we have a lot of revilers here, and they can shoot ground and air, so Mutalisks aren't very good against them. He's also gone for a ton of Prowlers, forgoing the Xayid lane in this match, and he's also already replaced his Prowlers. You see this bile pit's in a great position. You see the spread. The Zerglings are in big trouble. They're gone. The Mutalisks retreat. Oh, he's still... There we go. He's out of here. And so we're seeing a good old retreat right now. He's making 18 Zerglings, which I don't think is the correct call, especially from someone with 4,000 minerals. I mean, like, Zerglings are minerals only, but yes, you need to be doing this, getting some more gas. You need to be saturating your gas. You need to get some better units than Zerglings. You should get some Banglings too if you can. I don't see a Bangling nest out here. Banglings would be very good against this army right here, because he would have to use his fungal, I forget what his name is, so we'll just call it fungal smell, okay? So the fungal smell, if he casts the fungal smell on the Banglings, they can't explode, but if he doesn't, he's going to lose his army, so it's a good counter to get those Zerglings in if you can, especially if you have some good splitting going on. Or you could send in Hydralisks. Now he's going in here. The Hydralisks tried to get in here, but I think he saw the pit and got out. Or he's seeing that they're hanging out next to this creep tumor. So he's going around the side. I wonder what he's trying to do here. Because he doesn't... If this is a full-on engagement, he isn't going to win this. So he's probably going to try and make sure that it's just fought on the crawlers at all cost. And he's making a bunch of Zerglings, getting them huddled up in the middle. Again, Banglings would have been a really good thing. He's prepared for this final assault here. Quror is going in for the attack. We're floating 4,000 minerals. There goes the drones. And now they can't mine anymore. So you can make some good harass moves out of that. Just drop a few Prowlers in, stun the boys, just get out. It's not as much as eating the workers, but it's still good. There we go. So the splits are working. Some Zerglings got it, but he's focused them down, and now it remains all but not. The Mutalisks are being destroyed by the Revilers, but the Revilers are outnumbered. It's through. So he lives till another battle, but it's not looking very good for Prometheus. He's still floating 5,000 minerals, making 5 Mutalisks. That's about 500 minerals right there. We don't know where the other 4,000 minerals are going. To retirement, the bank account, the debts that he owes to Han Solo, I don't know. And now we're seeing a bunch of Xayidlings coming out. Cheap and effective. So that's looking really good for Quror here in his main base. He's also working on all of his upgrades. We see the Mutalisks flying around, destroying as many bombs as they can. I don't know why. If you're flying, you don't really have to care about the bombs. You're just telling your enemy you have Mutalisks. But he's going for it, and he's piecing out. And he's coming back in. And he's flying away. And he's coming back. Was that intentional, Prometheus? I don't think that was intentional. He's making a new hatchery, which I guess is kind of good. He's making 4 Mutalisks as well. But the Reviler upgrade is coming in. Once that Reviler upgrade comes in, these Mutalisks are in big trouble. And keep in mind that Prometheus has no upgrades. He doesn't have 1/1 or anything. Whereas we're seeing a lot more of those up. We see 1/1 for the area, for the ground units, and we see the second for the ground units. Wait, no, he doesn't have anything for the air units. My bad. Why is it showing them separately? That's not how this works. Alright, so he's got 2/1 versus 0/0, which is not good. The Reviler upgrade is just finished as well. We're also seeing some Canalisk upgrades as well, which I don't think he has any Canalisks, but just in case, he's getting ready for that. Alright, so we have massive amounts of Revilers and Xayidlings versus how many Mutalisks? We got ourselves 20 Mutalisks versus this army of 115 here. It's not looking good. So, he's going in with his Mutalisks. He's going to try and clean up some more of these bombs, but he's not making Zerglings anymore, so I'm not sure what the plan is. He's coming in, he's trying to get some of these bile pits down, but there's just too many of them for such squishy units. The Overseer goes down, but he gets out with most of his Mutalisks. Man, Mutalisk is a hard word to say repeatedly. I guess that's why we call them mutas. So it looks like this 4th base is going up pretty fine. Here comes the mutas once more. He just lost like a ton of them. And now we're seeing Masslisks come in here. These guys are kind of like a siege tank. So what they do is they can shoot somewhat powerful shots until they do this. When they burrow, they can shoot in the air. So it's very interesting. I don't think you need a detector to see them, but I have to double check that. So he's spewing at them. So these are very interesting units. I find them fascinating. I don't know how to use them, but I would love to see a replay where they're used pretty well. The Mutalisks are hanging out over there. The army's right here. They're planting all the bombs in hopes that the Zerglings are coming, but there are no Zerglings at all. You know, Infestors might be a good call right here as well. You could counter the fungal breath with the fungals, but oh well. So he's trying to get Quror supply blocks, but I don't think that's going to change much when you're maxed out. So the mutas are in the main base. He's trying to destroy his production, which is good, but the army is 3 steps ahead of him. Cutting him off, he's going to lose a bunch of his Mutalisks right then and there. The Overseer is still alive, but we'll see for how long. He's barely getting his first upgrade for the Mutalisks right now. And the Hatcher, and he's trying to reclaim a 4th base, but he's floating so many minerals and gas right now. Why is he not making units? Here comes the massive army. Quror is getting ready to seal the deal with a base trade. And to be fair, this is a pretty effective base trade. This is his unsaturated base being traded for the entire base of Prometheus. There goes the spines. There go the Zerglings. There's only a matter of time until those queens fall as well. There's one, and then he stuns them so they can't use their healing ability anymore. There goes the hatchery. Mutalisks are flying back desperately to try and save the base. We're seeing units being cancelled. And there's the GG from Prometheus as all the Mutalisks are shot out of the sky, leaving Quror as the victor of this tournament series. Woo, that was pretty good right there. I just wish that Prometheus had built more than mutas and Zerglings right there. He really could have benefited from some banglings and some infestors in that match, I would say. The infestors being able to attack the Prowlers before the Prowlers could get close to use their ability would have saved him a lot of Zerglings and a lot of Banglings in the long run. And so I feel like that would have been a really good play for him to pull right there. Maybe some Broodlords to keep the Prowlers busy, because the Broodlords would make them have to fall back, or they would be shooting the Broodlords or the Broodlings as they came out of the sky, which I think might have been helpful as well. But overall, I think it was a good game to start off this series with. GG, and I will see you guys in my next casting from this tournament. I really love this mod, and I really hope that I can see a few more vanilla versus the Scion races in the future, because it's fascinating to me, because we don't know the meta yet, and I find it amazing. See you guys next time.